Hello and welcome to Inside the Folder, a podcast that takes a look at a series of shorts I created called the Steele Dossiers. I'm your host, Francesco Di Francesco. Well, we made it to the end of season 1 of the Steele Dossiers. Although truth be told, if you have been listening to the rest, to all the episodes of the podcast so far, you'd know that there was one short that I written out, but I couldn't get filmed. I couldn't film it. That short I specifically wrote as the second short ever in the Steele Dossiers lore, I'll say, and that short was called "The Staff of Merlin." Now, as I mentioned, I think I touched upon it in the previous episode, but as I mentioned, the reason why I couldn't film the Staff of Merlin at that time was simply because the Beltline Trail, which I use for everything because I love the Beltline Trail, the piece that I wanted to use was under construction, so I couldn't get in there. And because it was under construction, I obviously couldn't film in that location, and I wanted that specific location for certain reasons. And because I couldn't get it, of course, most of the actors dropped out. So it never got filmed. As well, Ilya was supposed to play the Chin character, but I asked him to play Baxter Tolbett's voice, and I think he did a wonderful job there. So it worked out there. So that didn't get filmed. However, at the time, after Howl at the Moon, there was one other episode that was beginning to be filmed. It just never got done. And that episode is the Martian Invasion. So me and my sister started filming it. We did a couple of outdoor shots where I'm looking out. The outdoor shots that I specifically shot at the time, and this is all in 2020, I specifically shot at the time was me looking, coming up the Baldwin Steps and looking at the city there. And then what was also filmed was Arthur Steele coming in, sitting at his desk and turning on his radio, which replaced the Dragon. And that was getting filmed, but then we just stopped. I just stopped simply because during that time, I was sort of getting tired. I wasn't getting tired of filming, but I was getting tired of social media. Just negative energy altogether. So I just stopped, and I stopped going on the what I like to call social meds, because that's what it is. I stopped going on there. I stopped looking at my phone every 2 seconds. What I actually did was I took my phone and I tossed it, and I didn't pick it up until I actually needed to go to work. I still worked during this time until I actually had to go to work. That's the only time I picked up my phone, and even then I still barely looked at it. The only things I did make sure to look at was, did my agent contact me, or if there was some sort of emergency. Here's one story, because at the time I was eliminating, I had to take a step back from everything, whether it was good or bad, but I was weeding out all the negativity. And here's one story I'm going to share, which I know for a fact that this person is not listening, so I can share it. But I was sent a text message of, hey, what's going on? And do you want to hang out, so to speak? And what I find hilarious with this person is every time I spoke to them, I'm going to keep this as, I'm not going to say who it is, but every time I spoke to them, they always had to one-up me on like, oh, how are you doing today? Well, I'm doing this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And it's just like, you know what? I don't want to deal with that crap in my life. Nothing against them. I don't hate them, but that's the kind of stuff I was eliminating, because I knew people took advantage of my good nature, and it's just about, putting my foot down and being like, no more. So this person text messaged me, and because I didn't look at my phone or anything like that, I did notice the next day it was just like, it was because I didn't message back, but it was just like cut off from everything. And it's just like, wow, I just weeded out. That was the first person that was weeded out of my life, because it was literally, it wasn't even 24 hours. It was the next day that this person decided to be like, you know what, Frank didn't message me back, so I'm going to cut him out of everything. It's like, wow, okay. That just proved my gut was right. And ever since then, I followed my gut. So I started this journey. So like I said, I started this journey of just focusing on me, rebuilding me, and getting back on my journey for me, not for anyone else. And along the way, it's just, like I said, weeding out everything negative, whether it was a person, place, or thing, just everything gone. I don't want to deal with it. Granted, you know what? I don't hate anybody. I don't hate places. I don't hate things, but you're not gonna be around me if that's what you like. If you like drama, then that's your thing. You can stay there. I don't care what you say about me, because, the truth will prevail. So yeah. So that's what was happening. I took this step back for quite some time. That's why the Martian Invasion didn't get finished. So during that time, I just focused on myself, went to work, did all those kind of things. And then it came to December 2020, where I was kind of like, it would be fun to sort of get back into the Steele Dossiers. But how do I get back into the Steele Dossiers? Simply because, I can't do outdoor locations because it was wintertime. There's, during that time, a lot of people are celebrating the holidays. So I can't be like, hey, you want to film this? Because, their schedules are hanging out with friends and family there. So couldn't do that. So I'm like, what could I possibly do to just put out something about the Steele Dossiers, or just get back into the Steele Dossiers. And hilariously enough, I did a short documentary about sort of like the behind the scenes of the Steele Dossiers, and I called it Inside the Folder of the Steele Dossiers. Where this title came from, because I like that title so much, because on Arthur Steele's desk there's folders, and it makes sense to call it Inside the Folder, because you're getting an in sort of depth look. So that's what I did. I didn't go into too much detail like I do in each of these podcasts here, simply because it was only a 10-minute thing, so I had to incorporate all 6 of those episodes into one. Which, if you're looking for it, it is up on Rumble. That's the only place where it has been. So if you want to look at it, scroll through my videos on Rumble. If you're listening to this on Rumble, scroll through my videos there. If not, I'll put a link down below in the description here. It took me long to figure out description, but in the description box here, I'll put a link to my Rumble page there. Just click on it, and if you scroll through the videos, you'll see inside the folder of the Steele Dossiers as well. You will see all the episodes, all the shorts of the Steele Dossiers, if you haven't checked them out. So yeah, what I did in this short was I just talked about same thing like I did with the Call of Bigfoot, how it was so integrated with the introduction. And then I also talked about like locations, props, things like that. Some of the references. It's pretty much a shorter version, like really short, of each episode of this podcast here. However, I will say, if you're looking for any sort of like behind the scenes of like me filming or whatever, I couldn't get any of the behind the scenes footage, simply because when I film the Steele Dossiers, it's all filmed off my phone. I actually use my phone to film, and it's just like, well, how can I film behind the scenes if I'm using the camera to operate and film myself on there, right? So there's hardly any behind the scenes footage. The only thing that there is behind the scenes footage of is a picture of my sister making the Bigfoot foot in the ground there, and that's about it. There's nothing else. As well, because I brought up using my phone, what I'm quite proud of how this first season came out, is simply because of the fact that I used all the resources that I have at my disposal. So like my cell phone, some of the props in the shorts I reused over and over again in other short films that I did. The locations, the locations is downstairs in the basement here for Steele Arthur's desk. Well, not desk, coffee table. Well, desk, coffee table, and like all the other, like where I shot is all along the Beltline Trail, trying to make it look like it's a different sort of area of wherever I'm at, or using Casa Loma for Howl at the Moon. And I'm quite impressed with myself, and I edit. I will say, because my experience lies more in the acting realm of everything. Is this the first thing I've ever directed? No, but because I've done a bunch of student films, or whenever I'm on set on a professional set, I always watch specifically student films. That's why I bring it up, because the students are learning at the same time. You pick up on their terminology and you watch what they do behind the scenes filming. That way, when I go to film something for myself, I can apply those certain techniques as well. So that's where I learned how to direct. And like I said, this is not the first thing I directed. First thing I directed is a little short called A Valentine's Carol, which is based on the Christmas Carol, but for Valentine's Day. And it's supposed to go through my, I'm visited by 3 ghosts, and the ghost of Valentine's future yet to come shows me where I'm just sitting down by myself eating a pizza, and I start sort of crying, but then I say, I'm gonna paraphrase a little here, because it's that short's been like done in like 2017, 2018. I think 2017 actually. Yeah, a long time ago. But to paraphrase the line I say at the end, after seeing my future self, just eating pizza by myself on Valentine's Day, I say something along the lines of, like, I definitely can order, if these are the images yet to come, I definitely can order a party-sized pizza. So like a bigger sort of pizza there. And I look back on that and I'm like, oh, I could have filmed this better, So the Steele Dossiers is to the point where, this, like I said, I had to take a journey myself in 2020. So this directing is also a journey. Do I have all the top equipment? No. But you can see where I'm at with just the equipment I have. And I'm very grateful for the process of where I'm at now. Same with editing. I didn't take a course to edit film. So here's the courses of me editing film. High school, on a old school iMac. The ones that are different color. Like, you could get blue or you can get green. Like those old school Apple computers. They weren't even called iMacs. Apple computers at the time. And that was my extent of editing. And then just over time of working with different programs, you can still apply cuts and all that stuff. Am I the best editor out there? No, but for what I'm capable of doing at this moment in time, I'm quite proud of myself. And I know, like, again, the journey is going to take me to places where, this is where my editing's at. It's only going to get better from here. It will not get worse, because I just said it will get better from here. Editing, directing, my acting, even writing. What I hate about writing scripts is people think you have to do it a certain way. It has to be done this way. And it's like, no, just start writing. Especially if you're filming it yourself, just start writing. And that's all I'm going to, just start writing. Doesn't matter. You think it's a dumb idea? Just write it. Nobody needs to see this dumb idea, and then you can build off of it from here. This is not the Steele Dossiers is not the first thing I wrote. Like I said, the first thing that I've actually filmed and wrote was A Christmas Carol. But before that, I was writing many other things that never got filmed, or they weren't supposed to be filmed, or they were for something else. I mean, I would say like 2011, no, probably even earlier, like late 2000s, I had a YouTube show, which wasn't anything big, but I called it The Good Looking Nerd. And I'll just, write out bullet points of what I wanted to do. And now it morphed. People tell me, wow, your scripts are like tight and good and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, because it's the journey of me getting here. Again, you don't have to, don't take a class, just do it yourself. Just start doing it yourself. If you need to look up something, ask people, talk to people, watch what other people do if you're on set, right? That's how I learned, and that's how I'm applying it. People are like, oh, how'd you get to be this far? And it's just like, because I just did it. Just do it. I don't care if that's somebody else's slogan. Just do. You can do it. There, I like that. You can do it. So yeah, just do it. That's where I'm at with the Steele Dossiers here. This is probably gonna be a shorter clip because this is just the aftermath, the wrap up of season 1. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna take a little break from the podcast here. I'll definitely come back like maybe February, maybe March, with the second season of the Steele Dossiers. Don't worry, in the meantime, I'm not leaving for any kind of like, oh, I want to continue my journey of rebuilding myself. No, I'm definitely going to be working on a couple of other projects that I have on the go, as well a couple of these other and for season 2, I'm going to be working on season 2 of Inside the Folder here, because I've been getting a lot of people telling me that they're quite interested in the folklores that I've chosen and the kind of the behind the scenes talk and process that I do of each of these. So that's what you're going to see in season 2, more of the same. As well, because season 2 there's a lot of other actors there. They're going to be on as guests. Whoever wants to come on as a guest, that is. And it's gonna be more fun, more Steele Dossier stuff. I will say everything I've said up to so far about season 1 has been up to December 2020. So when I come back with the first episode of season 2 for Inside the Folder, which will technically be the 9th episode of Inside the Folder, I'll start from 2021 and then onwards till then, because right now this is being recorded in January of 2022, and it's gonna be great fun. It's gonna be good fun. Good stuff's going to come. I know it. I can feel it. Oh yeah, Macho Man. When my Macho Man comes out, I'm excited. But I'm gonna end this. I hope you enjoyed the first season of not only the Steele Dossiers, but of Inside the Folder, the podcast about a series of shorts I created. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna leave. Well, there's many things before I get through there, but here's the quote, because I always end off with a quote about, the folklores or anything like that. But this one doesn't have any kind of folklore. So this is a quote that I came up with myself. It is, "If you think the world is the limit, then you truly do not know what the galaxy actually holds." And with that, as always, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. If you're listening to on Rumble, subscribe to there. If you're listening to it on Spotify, just subscribe there. As I always say, YouTube always gets this a week or 2 weeks after it comes out. But still, feel free to subscribe. I'll leave all the links in the description below as well. Give a smile. You know what? Laugh. Have a good laugh. Laughter is good for the soul. Have a good laugh. I may not be there to laugh with you, but my soul will feel it, and I know that you'll be laughing with me on this amazing journey that's going to come. And with that said, thank you very much. I'll see you maybe in February, March of 2022. I'm not too sure yet if we'll see how I'm feeling. If I want to release them the second season starting February or starting March. But we'll see how I'm feeling. Thank you very much for listening to this first season of Inside the Folder. And as always, nothing in this world is what you think it is.